Back on Earth after successfully performing the first commercial spacewalk. Well, Alan has been following the story. There was a lot of focus on the spacewalk, but what were they hoping to achieve, and did they manage to get there?
Yeah, they did. I mean, a lot of focus on this was, of course, yes, it's a spacewalk first by private citizens. It was very exciting. It looked like a joyride for a billionaire, but there was a lot of point to it as well. I mean, the old spacesuits that we're used to seeing in Vision of the International Space Station, they're really bulky, they're uncomfortable, they have design flaws. So the intention was proof of concept for that. And in that respect, it was a big success. The designer of them calls them a suit of armor made of fabric that becomes rigid when pressurized. The visor has a heads-up display. Chris Trigg of SpaceX, who led the design of this, says the goal is to make it feel as if you're going about your business wearing everyday clothes. So yeah, a big tick for that. This mission also reached a peak altitude of 1,400 kilometers above Earth, so only the Apollo moon missions have gone further than that. And there was a whole range of other experiments as well, including laser-based communications between that capsule and the Starlink fleet of satellites.
Look at that fucking shit.
But really something that we're watching is that it was really a commercial spacewalk, right? So what does this really mean for future missions?
Yes, it was a commercial spacewalk. It was funded by billionaire Jared Isaacman, and it did have the feel of a stunt. But this was just the first of 3 Polaris Storm missions. The next one has a rather vaguely defined goal to expand the boundaries of human spaceflight missions. But Mission 3 is where it gets really interesting. That will be the first human crewed flight of Starship, which is that giant reusable rocket that SpaceX is currently testing. The next test launch of that's probably looking at November, and this time SpaceX would attempt to catch that enormous booster with the launch tower. The ultimate goal of all of this is to have a permanent settlement on Mars, and that gets us back to the suit design. They're going to need a lot of them. They're going to need to be scalable to fit every shape and size of human beings. So this is just the first step, or well, another small step on a long, long road to eventually reach Mars.